Hi, I'm here today with Elyse, and I'm going to give her a super short cut that'll be very edgy. She's been growing it, and you can see she needs a little help. We really like Elise's hair long on the top because it's just much more flattering on her. With that higher forehead, we like to leave lots of length, but where Elyse, her hair does really well is when I cut this in really close on the sides and super close on the neck. We'll leave some length on the top, but it won't be all one length. It will give it kind of an asymmetric feel. She'll be super short on one side and with that long bang to one side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shampoo her, and when you come back, you'll get to see the haircut. We're back here with Elyse, and you can see I've got her shampooed. I've sectioned off what I want to cut really short, and then I've get the longer hair out of the way. And you can see where the comb leaves the head is what I determine as my short hair, where the hair goes from short to long. So I've done that on both sides, and I've carved out my shape here. And even on the neckline, you can see where the comb leaves the head. That tells me where I'm going to cut this hair in really close. So what I want to do first here, Andrea is coming close, sweetie, because I want them to see this good. I'm going to do scissor over comb, and I'm going to take this in really close. And bringing it up to that part line and then taking it off leaves softness on the ends, but takes out that weight close to the head here. Now I'll work my way all the way around here and taking this hair off. Look how much hair is coming off. This is going to be great because you can see Elise's hair just kind of hugs her head. It lays nicely. And when you've got such a nice shaped head and a good face, short hair is just so flattering. I think what I want to do on Elyse is give her a little bit more of an edgier look. So taking this in super close and leaving that top really long is going to give this a really nice look. She'll have that option of having some length on the top where she can play with some hair. She won't be so limited to having us just a super short cut. A lot of pixies are in right now, and there's different versions. You have the shorter ones, the very short ones, or ones with length in the bangs. But having that layered hair does allow you to have more volume and piecey texture to it. But because of Elise's texture of hair, she's baby fine, and she does have a lot of it. But we want that hair to really be flattering around the face. That's why we want to leave all this length on the top. We've had her several different ways. We've had it very short and pixie and piecey on the top, but you kind of get tired of that, and the only way to change it is to let it grow. So what's nice about this, you still have the look of a super short cut, but you've got length on it. So it can be very flattering and feminine. You can see I'm going right around here, taking this off very close, because we want this nice and close. And what'll be good too is when you see this hair fall over, some of that will come off the top, but not a lot. We want to keep every bit of this length on the bangs. Where I will go through is this crown and these sides. Going in a little shorter here. Now, let's see this side. I'm going to take a little bit more. We like these little soft fringes. You're cutting in the basic shape here, and then we'll go back and tweak and see if we want to take that off, leave it. So it's just whatever we feel like when we see it finished. I'm going off and taking it off of her ear here. And you can see already the shape it's taken on is nice. It's flattering. This can be a little closer. We are going to color Elise's hair. Once I finish her cut, I'm going to do a level 4 BR. It's our darkest auburn. She has a little bit of white in here on that top, so I may add a few highlights just to have a little bolder streak in that front, just to play with the haircut. I think it'll add to it, having a little brighter piece in there, maybe a little auburn where the auburn's just a little lighter. So that'll be nice, and it'll, like I said, it'll play up her color. Her haircut changing the color. And Elise's hair goes to the side here. So we find that side part, and already taken all that weight off these sides. Now that hair it's not bulgy on the sides, because that's when it's not flattering, is when it's thick and heavy on those sides. We want to leave every bit of Elise's hair here. You can see that little bit of that receding hairline. That hair will fill in right there. Now what I want to do is I'm going to take my razor and take the shark tooth, which we will have soon. We've had a major problem with getting them done, but they will be here soon. So if anyone's still interested in the razor, I will be sending out a notice. You can see right here her shortness there. Right here in her occipital. I'm going to pull this down and I'm going to take it off with my razor. because this is where we don't want any weight line or that excess thickness on these ends. We want this very jagged, because that's when the hair really has more movement and more tousled, is when that hair's got this layering in here. And what's so great about this razor, it really kind of makes the ends very jagged. You don't get any blunt lines with this. We've been doing a lot of cuts with this. We designed it just to kind of shape or trim edges around the face or to give bangs, but then we started doing complete haircuts with them because we got such good results. And hair's changed a lot. Hair is much softer, and you do see the more edgier, very strong, blunt lines. That's not for everyone. So this is great because this hair just gives it more movement cutting with the razor. These ends aren't so blunt. They're not heavy and thick on the ends. So that is what the razor is great for. You can see this hair is nice and long, and it's actually coming over the short part that I've cut. So once I dry it, doing the haircut, drying it and flat ironing it, and then checking, and then seeing what else it needs. So many times, you don't really know until you see that hair dry and see what it wants to do. Now I'm coming over to this side here, Andre. I might have to move to this side here. And same thing, because this crown was so long, we want the front to look longer and the crown shorter. So that's why I'm pulling everything back and taking it off here, just so we don't have any heavy weight line in there. You can almost feel where the thickness is at when you use this razor. Now, you can see, okay, what I want to do now is you can see this overhang that's hanging over her ear. I'm going to converge that right, and I'm pulling this back because I want to keep the length in the front, but I do want to take a little bit more hair off of her ear here. And you can see this is where I've got the super short hair with the longer hair coming over. Already you can see the silhouette here is so much more flattering on Elyse. She's definitely a short hair person, and we love it close. What I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to dry her and check her cut. I do want to put some color on her, so we'll do a little dark auburn on her. So when you come back, you'll get to see the finished look. We're back, and what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put a few highlights in Elyse and then apply her base color so they'll process together. And this is real important where I want to put it at. Because of her haircut, I've left it very long in the front. So I'm going to play up the bang, and that's where I want to put a few pieces of just some brighter red pieces. So you can see when I go underneath here, her longer hair starts about right in here. And the placement of this, I think, is real important because you want it to really be in the right spot and it'd be a good thing. So I want to put them, I want them to hang right over this eye here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go this away. I'm going to take and carve this out this way. And we do want a section about this big. So when this falls, we'll have this falling in between her long bang. So that's our plan. What I'm going to do is pull this piece out, get that a little thinner, and I'm going to put blue lightener. This is a blue lightener with 20 volume. We're going to put these in here first, brushing that from the root to the end there, getting it covered really well. We want good lift on this piece. And I'll add one more in here. She only gets 2 highlights, but the rest of this color will go all over. It's a level 4 BR. It's an auburn. And it's just really a rich, rich auburn brown, a true red brown. And what'll be good too is even on her little white hairs, they'll come in a little brighter, another little shade of red. So that'll be a nice touch there. The gray hair will work with us and not against us here. We can make that look good too. Go ahead and brush that color, that lightener on that whole section. And then we'll wrap it up. And now, while those are processing, we'll go ahead. I've got this mix. This is level 4 BR. This is our all-nutrient hair color. You can see Elyse is probably a level 5, 4, 5. So we're going to stay with her natural color, but we'll just make it a little more intense, have that little bit of that red pop out in it, but still subtle. And I'm using 20 volume peroxide. It'll process for 30 minutes, and I'll apply that on the new growth. And then once I get all the roots on, then I'll go and apply it to the ends. And when you come back, you'll get to see Elyse's finished look. I'll have her dried, flat ironed, and ready to see everything. Okay, we're back, and you can see I've got Elyse's color done. I've dried her. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking this little bit of this wave out of the ends. just where her bangs were wanting to curl up, we want this nice and straight. So that way I can check her haircut better, smoothing all these wrinkles out and getting all the wave out. And you really see now when you smooth these ends out, you see all these ragged edges, the edges there where I use the razor. Now they're nice and piecey, and then you can see where that weight's distributed at. You can see that it's not thick and bulky through these sides. And once you smooth these edges, I'm not taking it at the roots because we like the body at the roots. We're just taking and smoothing these ends so these ends are fringier. Then I'll get to see where she needs any more tweaking at. And you can see back here in the back, no weight line back there. I've got that nice and airy on the ends, no thick edges. And actually, I've got her nice and smooth now. Now you can see any little flaws in here, and she's looking pretty good. Let's toss this little, now you see that little kick of this highlight that I added, just so she has a little bit of a natural auburn, just a little brighter piece in those bangs, just to really play up that haircut. Now, I see a few spots I want to snip on, and it's such a little amount. I'm going to take my tiniest shears here, my little short ones, because they're great for doing edges when you want to just do a little pieciness and keep these ends light. And then you can see we like all of this. What I want to do is take some of this off, just where it's hanging on her ear. And using these little tiniest shears are great because they just have the tiny blades. And when you go to point cut, you have these little thin blades. So you get that nice, really fine edges. No big chunks out of the hair when you point cut. So these little scissors are great for that. We love all this little ragged stuff. I'm not cutting any of that. You can see when we pushed this out of the way, that was her shortest hair, was on that underneath. Now it took that bulk out where it would be wide or thick on the sides. And actually, I'm going to do a little bit, check this side out too. We're going to do a little bit over here, and it's not much because I definitely have this side slightly shorter, but just going around the ear here, we want this side to be her shorter side. So her asymmetric shape will be subtle, very subtle. It's not a big drastic asymmetric, but enough to really give that a little interest. And even right in here, I'm going to go through and point cut a little more in here just so this has a slighter, shorter side. And even after taking the underneath out, you can see this top was my insurance. It came down longer, not knowing whether I really needed that or not, because once you dry it, you can see how it falls, and then you determine whether you want to take more off. So I'm taking that little bit off. What I don't want to take off is some of that hair right there to her temple there, because Elyse needs that. Now, we've got it finished here. I'm liking the way she's looking here. Elyse, are you liking your cut, girl?
I love my cut. And I love my cut so much that instead of, like, you know, I call it face twerking.
Face twerking? I love that. I love that.
Thank you, Stephanie. I love it.
You look
She's amazing.
great, Elyse. Thanks for watching today.
Bye-bye, y'all.